created live on Fireside.
Hey, hey, hey! Happy Chris and Amanda Day! Woo! You need to come off mute. It won't let you. Oh no. Let me see. Amanda is stuck on mute. Oh. Still can't get you off mute. Is that because of that accessory that we plugged in? You may have to close the app and come back in, Amanda. Give that a try. This is what happens. Oh, there you are.
That was close, but
That was good. Hey, you're back.
Oh, that was so close. Man, we've had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, this today's show has been a little bit plagued by technical difficulties. Well, you know what? You were away. I was away the week before, and now I'm away again, trying to do the show remotely, and you're back. So it's like we're just trying to keep this going. So it's it's been a thing, but it's all right. Listen, we're gonna show up. We're gonna do the show. We're gonna do the best we can, and we're gonna keep things going. We're just punk rock about this. We're just gonna keep going.
We're just chill. We are so Nora Jones about this.
So Nora Jones.
We are so Nora Jones.
So I'm counting this episode as our 14th episode because I only count the episodes that we do together as full shows. Fair. Last week's episode was a 13 and a half. I called it.
I love that.
And I just want to say thank you right now to John Killian and Victor Ruiz for coming on and totally, we kept the name of the show, but we switched the format up a little bit, and it was fun. We had a great time, and I'm just really thankful that they came on and helped out, and we filled the time, and everybody seemed to really enjoy the show. So it was a lot of fun.
I'm thrilled to listen to it. I have not had an opportunity. I'm still trying to play catch up from being gone, which was a wonderful vacation. But as soon as I saw all of your song choices and stuff, I was like, oh, this is going to be so much fun. I was like, none of them are my choices, though.
Yeah, no, there's you may discover something on there. I think that there's a mix. Everybody had a good mix of stuff. I mean, I think there may be something you might like there.
I bet. But I just think it was super cool. I love the concept behind it. I love that it was like 13 and a half.
Yes, it was a 13 and a half. So I while I missed you immensely, we still had a very good time with John and Victor, and it was just fun. It was cool to do something just a little bit different. Break it up, and while you were away, digital detoxing, and having a good time with your family, and I'm so glad you got to do that.
Oh my gosh, it was so great. It was basically 8 days of pure unplugging, and it was well worth every penny spent, every moment unplugged. I actually barely took any pictures. I was like, I can't wait to post all these pictures. And I was looking at it, I was like, wow, it's pictures of the same thing, just different times of day, which is beautiful, but it was not it just was nothing special. Right. Well, I mean, it was something special, but my pictures leave a lot to be desired.
Right. No, it's you know what? Listen, it's all good. And sometimes it's like, I get like that too. A lot of times, I'll sometimes take pictures right away. And then by the end of the vacation, I'm taking way less pictures and almost no pictures at all because I'm like, you know what? I'm just tired of grabbing the phone and I just living it, I'm taking mental pictures.
Pictures.
Pictures
Absolutely.
with my mind,
That's right, with our minds.
With our minds.
I actually even picked up a book on vacation because anyone who knows me knows I'm not a reader. I didn't really read it. I looked at the pictures. There was lots of pictures.
There was a lot of fun pictures in that book. It was a good picture book.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was a book from 1982. Right in my song choice era.
Right in there.
How
right
fitting.
In there. This is great. It was perfect.
So
good. Well, I want to thank everybody right now who's joining us. I know that our very good friend Chris Kosech is in the other one of the other studios doing a Wildfire game show. And originally, yes, we were supposed to come on at 12 today. And thank you so much for joining us today. We were supposed to come on at 12, and then Chris was going to do Wildfire at 1. But because I'm away, And I'm here in North Carolina on a family reunion all week. It's my grandma's 91st birthday this week. So
cheers to that. Everyone, please applaud that.
We're doing a whole thing this week. So it's great. It's a lot of fun. So I'm in my grandma's little like office area right now. And so I'm doing the show here. So I was like, Amanda, can we push the show like an hour just if we can? But then, then we wound up like kind of stepping on Chris a little bit. So, but if you want to play a really cool game show, go over and check out Chris because her show is awesome. And I think when we start getting like by next week, we will be regular back to 12 p.m. And
no more vacations.
No more vacations. And Wildfire will be on right after our show. So it'll be a really fun, music and trivia and all. It'll just be Mondays will be definitely the new fun days. Monday fun days.
Monday fun days. Absolutely. Yes. That's a great show to go to right after this one for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you all so much for joining us today. It's a very exciting week here on Fireside, and Amanda and I are so excited to be part of the Fireside creator community here and really excited about all the things coming up. And so we will be doing a special edition of the Chris and Amanda Show on August 5th for sure. So we're behind the scenes planning what we're going to do a little bit special for that show. So we will stay posted. Stay tuned, everybody. We will be releasing details of that very, very shortly. So you'll be getting a double dose of Chris and Amanda this week to make up for our lost time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And for anyone who's just listening, who hasn't seen this yet, if you see the video version of this, which will be on YouTube at some point, I am complete with the Chris and Amanda Show flair. I've got my coffee cup. I got a button. I got my shirts. It's so comfortable and I love it all. And the colors just make me smile.
You're like the president of the Chris and Amanda Show fan club. Like you look like the Chris and Amanda Show fan club.
I wish we had a bow.
I
might have to get a bow.
You're a yellow bow.
A yellow bow. I might wear this to work later.
You should totally keep that on when you go to work. You'd be like, what is this?
Well, you see, I'll give him a button too.
Yeah, we have plenty of them.
Got plenty of buttons. You hear that? Button gold.
You too can have a Chris and Amanda Show button. You just have to ask.
Oh my goodness. I love this. Well, let's dive into today's show. The show concept is so simple, so easy. Chris chooses 3 songs, I choose 3 songs, and we rate them on a complicated 5-record scale. 5 being it's amazing and it's great. 1 means it's gross and needs to get thrown away in a dumpster fire. Not just thrown away, but like burned in the dumpster fire.
Incinerated.
Incinerated. We've yet to have a 1 record.
We haven't had one yet. I feel like you've been close.
I've been very close.
You've been very close. I don't think I've been close to a 1. Definitely I've been in a 2, but I haven't given anything you've sent me a 1.
No. And I won't even bring up the controversial one that our fans are not quite over. We'll let another week go.
Oh, we know. It still is. It's still ingrained. It still keeps coming up. So.
It's going to linger for a really long time. Yeah. But, I have to say, I saw a quick little note on like a news thing that a member of Slipknot passed away.
Yes. Yeah. So, Joey Jorgensen, the original drummer from Slipknot and original founder of the band who's, had a very long history of some issues and he was out of the band. So he passed away last week. So super big blow to the rock and metal community as he was a sick drum. I mean, his drumming is unreal. And you listen to those early Slipknot records. I mean, and it's insane the stuff that he was doing and pulling off and playing live on top of that. Like, he wasn't, he was awesome in the studio, but man, to watch him play live was just awesome to see that go. And so, a big blow for sure for the hard rock and metal community all around, losing a super talented, like an amazingly talented musician.
I wouldn't have known, Slipknot at all had it not been for this show. So it was neat to be able to put 2 and 2 together and actually even understand what that meant when I saw that headline. So our condolences goes out to the music community and his, friends and family, because that's never fun.
No, never. And, but at least we always still have the music to remember him by and talk about, which we talk so much about on this show. So, yeah, rest in peace, Joey Jurgensen, and we'll keep listening and
This
carrying the
episode's
spirit
for
alive.
you.
That's right. This is dedicated to Joey Jurgensen.
Episode 14. Absolutely. Boom. Boom. Well, do you want to do my choices first, or do you want me to do your choices first?
Let's do your choices first, because I was really like when I wrote you and I go, wait a second, I feel like I'm getting baited in these choices. So go ahead.
Oh no, I didn't write mine. Where are mine? I just have yours written down. Will you say mine?
Oh yeah, sorry. Duh. Look at this.
Will you say mine?
we miss a week, and it's like it's a whole crazy thing. All right, so your song choices to me were the Monkees' "Daydream Believer," which I feel like I'm doing right now. I'm completely daydream believer. I don't know where I am right now. I'm in North Carolina. Your second one to me is I bless the reds down in Africa. Yes, Africa by Toto.
Toto.
Not Weezer, Toto. And your third song to me is Wildfire by Michael Martin Murphey. And yes, and right now Wildfire is actually happening. Chris Costa.
That's right.
Got the Wildfire game show go on Fireside's first and only game show happening right now in the other room. So
absolutely.
But we will be discussing the song Wildfire today.
Yes. All fabulous songs, I think. But to your choices, number 1, Hunger Strike by Temple of the Dog. Say who? Say what? Number 2 was Back in Black by AC/DC. Not TCAS, AC/DC. And then Dream Police by Cheap Trick. So those were Chris's choices to me.
Yes, and it's why this show. This is what James wrote on our Instagram. And I said, James, this show's going to be a banger today, because there are some really good songs on both sides of the fence today that I'm anxious to talk about. I'm very anxious to hear Amanda's reaction to the song choices this week.
So does that mean I should dive into them first?
Well, what do you guys think? Let's leave it to the audience.
All right.
Should Amanda go first this week? Let me hear a round of applause.
They say no.
Oh. There we go.
Okay, a couple there. Okay.
All right, I'm just going to say you go first.
Okay, that sounds good.
That was pretty loud, so. We've all missed you, Amanda. Like, I was on last week. You weren't on, so everybody's dying to hear your voice.
Well, I didn't have any fancy paper, so I used envelopes. The back of envelopes.
Back of the bills. The back of the bills. I'm not paying.
The back of the bills. I'm not hunger striking. I'm bill striking.
That's right.
So Hunger Strike by Temple of the Dog. I just think what a weird name. Not just the name of the song, but the name of the band. So I was already like, this can't be real. And you know what's funny, guys, in the audience, every week that Chris sends me songs, I don't know if I'm seeing the song first or the person who sings it first. And I have to like look for the song that I might know or the person I might know, because then I know like what order. Otherwise I have to Google like which is the name, which is the artist. It's confusing. So it was only because of the Back in Black and AC/DC. I was like, okay, AC/DC is the artist. So Back in Black, the order is this. That's how out of touch I am. Oh, so I wasn't sure which one was the song, which one was the band. But once I figured it out, I was okay. And to be honest, one of the very first thoughts about the song, I was like, I don't know if this song soothes me or bores me.
Oh, okay.
It was like, is it soothing or is it like blah? Because I feel like the person singing it is just so uninterested.
Wow.
I just felt like there wasn't, and I know that was like the tone of the song. It wasn't supposed to be a chipper song or anything like that, but it just felt a little like he was just sitting in the chair. You know, if there was it takes me back to the video of Neverending Story when the guy's sitting there so uninterested with hair.
You didn't watch the music video for this song, did you?
No, I did not.
Okay, all right. Well, this will be a reaction video.
Is he as boring as that guy in the Neverending Story?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
He pumps it up a level in the video?
Yeah, it's Chris Cornell, so I mean, it's like, you know.
I did give it a good chance. I listened to it probably no less than 5 times, probably more like eight or so times. And I just really couldn't get used to it. It just didn't.
Going hungry.
It just didn't.
Going hungry. Yeah.
I couldn't feel it because I like to feel the songs. Chris.
Oh man, I can't believe you didn't feel this one. Wow,
I didn't feel this one, but what I did hear in it, I felt like there was a political tone to this. Is there like a political nature to this song?
No, well, no.
Because I'm taking things. I take things literally.
Yeah, it's not a political. It's not a political. It's more of a tribute to somebody.
To somebody.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll give you the super fast history of this.
Okay.
If it helps. Okay. Because I obviously when I said just once again everybody when I send Amanda songs there's no I don't give her anything. No. I literally go here's the title. And then she has to also figure that out, like which is the title. I don't give her anything. Like there's no preamble, there's no disclaimer, there's no nothing because I really want to get her reaction. And I realize that probably even me telling her, she's probably still not going to know what I'm talking about. So this band Temple of the Dog is sort of I guess what you would call a super group because it's a formation of Chris Cornell from Soundgarden and the drummer from Soundgarden and then Pearl Jam. So Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam and Stone Gossard and Mike McCready are in it. And so the reason why this band formed was because of a guy. He was a singer his name was Andrew Wood, and he was the singer of a band called Mother Love Bone, which was originally Pearl Jam before they became Pearl Jam. Mother Love Bone was one of the first bands from the Seattle scene to get they were like going to be poised to be huge, and Andrew Wood, who Chris Cornell was like best friends and roommates with, OD'd from heroin. He died. So this and all these guys were tight. They were all friends. They all played in bands together. So this band was created as a tribute. It was a one-off thing. It was a full record, and they had written a couple songs, and they wound up wanting to do like a full record as a tribute to Andrew Wood. Because they just all, it was just their way of expressing like all that, everything how they were feeling about like his passing and being, all that stuff. So this record is sort of like an entire testament to that. And it's a one-off record. It wasn't meant to be like a long-lasting band or anything like that. So, and Hunger Strike was the first single, and that song is, when I tell you it's a really big song in the hard rock community, it's a huge song. I mean, this is a song that like usually when you play it's
hard rock.
Yeah, usually when you play in a bar, like everybody stops and everybody starts singing, I'm going hungry. Like it's just one of those tunes that like it makes my soul sing. I'm taking your
you feel it in your soul?
I feel it in my soul. It makes my soul sing, Amanda. So I'm still I listen to this song and I get like, oh my God, this song's so emotional to me because
interesting.
I get the feels, Amanda.
And here I'm like falling asleep to it.
Well, it's because I mean, it's just once again, different styles of music, all that.
Absolutely.
But I was interested to hear what your reaction would be.
I
really was.
I'm very interested. So Soundgarden, are they the person who sang? I don't know if this is the name of the song, but I Knew I Loved You Before I Met You. I knew I loved you before
I don't think so.
No, who sang that song?
I don't know about that.
Because when I heard them, I was like, why does this sound familiar? But I knew I had never heard of this band.
Black Hole Sun.
Won't you come? That's the words.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Chris Cornell passed away very recently, a couple years back. So it's been has not been a very Chris Cornell.
Musical artists,
his voice
is cut short.
His voice to me is like one of the greatest voices. I put him up there. Like he's on Karen Carpenter status. Like for real. Like I put him right. His voice I can listen to that man sing. Oh, just such a great. What an amazing voice. So
interesting.
That's a little bit of the backstory of the band.
That helps me. That helps me because I didn't love it. I didn't love it at all. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it though. So I'm going to give it a solid 3 records.
Fell flat for you.
It did. But it wasn't like, it didn't hurt my ears where I would change the station. I just probably wouldn't necessarily like pay attention. It would come and go before I would notice that it was ever there.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Did I just make sense right then?
I think I'm just getting payback for Billy Joel, but that's okay.
Where's the one record this week for that one? I love it. So tell me about my number one song.
Your number one song, I feel completely different about, by the way. So I'm just gonna say right now, you played right into me this week with the Monkees. I love the freaking Monkees. I've always, you know what? I've always wanted to be like, I listen to guys like Davy Jones sing, and I'm like, this guy, I just want to sing. I want to be as cool as Davy Jones. Like he's got the moves, and
he like wiggles.
Yeah, he's got the Davy Jones like slide he does. He's got the voice and the good looks, and I'm like, man, I wish I could be as cool as Davy Jones. And I love the Monkees. I loved watching the show. You know, obviously in reruns. I wasn't even born yet when the original show was out.
Just to clarify.
But this is like one of these songs that when it comes on, like I turn it way up, and I'm like, I love to sing it like loud and proud. And I don't care if I'm at a key. It's one of those songs that I completely, absolutely, it just totally goes right into. I'm like, boom, I gotta sing it.
It's like a switch.
Wake up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean? Yeah.
Yes.
So I am a huge Daydream Believer fan, and so I actually, you know, so huge. Some quick facts from, you know, because I always do digging. So songfacts.com. We did.
There it is.
You know, so the record. This was off the Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees, released in 1967, charted number 5 in the UK and number 1 in the United States. And guess what knocked it out of number 1?
A Beatles song.
Correct. Hello, Goodbye was the song that knocked out. So it was also the last single that the Monkees released, the last number 1 single, that was released before the Monkees broke up and drifted apart. And it was knocked out by the Beatles' Hello, Goodbye. The song was originally written by a folk singer named John Stewart, and he was a member of the Kingston Trio from 1961 to 67, and he wrote this shortly after leaving the group and teaming up with John Denver before he was famous. And in 1968, Stewart became the official musician of the Democratic Party, which traveling with Senator Robert Kennedy during his presidential campaign. So, but this was a song that he wrote, and the Beatles did it. And I didn't even know this. Like, so the song was covered by Anne Murray, which I don't think I've ever heard in her version.
I've never heard that version. Yeah. I can't even.
But it was
think what it would think about.
Well, it was actually a hit. It hit number 3 on the U.S. country chart. And
Anne
number
Murray?
12 and number 12 on the Hot Billboard 100 in 1979.
Maybe
that
means I can cover it and also hit number 5. I don't need to go number 3. I'll do number 5.
Yeah. I know.
Top 100?
Just top 100, you know. I'd love to hear your version of a Daydream. Well, this is why we have I would be just having you sing it, though. I wouldn't be karaoke with me, and it would just be you. I could do like the Davy Jones moves in the background.
The wiggle.
Yeah, I'll do the Davy Jones moves in the background. You know? Yeah. And by the way, Davy Jones also noted that this is his favorite Monkees song.
It's so good. My Facebook cover photo has Daydream Believer on it. It's wife, mom, Daydream Believer.
Oh, I love that. That's great. That's awesome.
That's just my thing. Oh, love it.
It's awesome. I love that. So Amanda Sharp, in our first show back.
Yes.
Your vacation.
I got my pen out.
I am giving Daydream Believer.
Yes.
I don't think anybody's going to be shocked at this. 5 records.
Boom! Listen, episode 13. Yes. I felt like my last ratings were a little skimpy. So I had to really bring it. But I didn't look for the songs that I thought would bring it. I got the songs that felt right in my soul.
Right. Well, Amanda, you set the tone right. So listen, there are certain. I think you're also starting to learn me a lot. So there is this. After 14 shows together, I feel like you're really starting to find that Chris is he's gotten layers to him, like an onion. Like there's a lot of
you're like a cavern.
Yes. There's a lot.
You can go a lot of different ways.
Right.
I like it. it.
Yes. So Monkees, 5 records. I mean, I love Daydream Believer. Awesome song.
Monkees, Daydream Believer to Back in Black, AC/DC.
Yes.
Number 2.
Yes.
So I feel like I've heard this song before. Would it have almost been impossible to not hear this song because it's the hey, hey, hey part that I knew?
Amanda, Back in Black is by far probably one of the biggest, most popular rock songs probably ever recorded. There's no way that you've ever gone to a sporting game or watched sports on TV and you didn't hear Back in Black come on. This is like in top 10 rock songs ever written that will never die, Back in Black is like in the top 5 of that. That is like, this song will never die, ever.
So it is absolutely realistic to think that I've heard it before, then, is what you're saying.
if you've never heard this song before, then I definitely know you've been living under a rock your whole life.
Well, and the thing is, like, I didn't know a lot of it. All I knew was the hey, hey, hey part. And I was like, well, maybe they have like more hey, hey, heys in other songs. But I knew the hey, hey, hey. I hope hey is the word. Is hey the right word?
Yeah.
Or is it yay, yay, yay?
You know what? With Brian Johnson, like, AC/DC follows a formula, and they've not broken away from that formula in 50 years. So it's like, it's literally the same. They follow the same, and it works and never change anything. AC/DC needs to change nothing. So,
boom. So, okay, well, my first note was I have heard the song before. Check. I think that's been confirmed. It makes you nod your head. It doesn't make me like head bang because I can't do that. I get headaches.
This is a. Oh, I forgot. No, I'm not going to cut you off. Keep going.
No, so I can head nod. It's a firm head nod. It's just not a head banger because Amanda gets her headaches. So I knew the hey, hey, hey part, which I wrote down. I don't like love it, but I like it.
Okay.
And my last note for the song was, we haven't heard a sore throat song in a while. So, because how can you sing a song like this and not get a sore throat after singing it?
So James is throwing some. I think he's referring to the song we're talking about right now. James,
I do too, and I'm feeling the pressure. James. Yep. Listen.
Oh, here comes the Amanda rationale.
For me, I can appreciate that AC/DC is like this big, iconic figure.
So can I just ask you real quick?
Of course.
Did you know who AC/DC was before listening to the song?
So yes.
Or did you just know it as a t-shirt and a logo?
It only has the logo.
I knew it.
Only because I knocked off that one poster for us. And that's how we came to be the TCAS.
TCAS.
I looked long and hard for that font, Chris. I looked harder for the font that I've spent time listening to AC/DC.
This is why the show's amazing, everybody.
Oh my gosh, Chris. I don't want to let James down. The pressure. I'm sweating now.
But it's coming.
It's coming. Okay, so listen. It could have been a 3 record, but it wasn't. It could have been a 2 record, but it wasn't. I'm going to give it a 4 record, but I just can't justify a 5. So, James, my sweet James from across the pond, I don't mean to let you down, but 4 records is still very, very good.
So, with that being said, first of all, okay, 4 records. 4 records coming from you from a band that you only knew as a logo is pretty good. I love that you started off the saying by I think I've heard this song before, which, all right. So this is somewhere in the Amanda ether of a pantheon of songs you've possibly heard before.
Heard.
Yeah. So is everybody in the audience, I want to hear, are you guys satisfied with Amanda's 4 record rating of Back in Black by AC/DC?
You can either applaud or boo.
Applaud, boo, or if you want to come up here and show your work, you're and explain whatever, you're welcome to. We open it up to the audience.
Oh, Chris, I've made James cry. Chris let me down with Billy. Yeah. Now this.
John's crying too.
I'm okay. 4 is a very good rating still.
Can I ask you this question?
Of course.
Did you like Kiss Shout It Out Loud more than you liked Back in Black by AC/DC, or vice? Where would you put this on a level of Kiss Shout It Out Loud or AC/DC Back in Black? Which one is the song that you would prefer or go to? And I think I know the answer to this.
I think, oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like you're going to go with Kiss Because I know you love sing-alongs, and I feel like Kiss has got more sing-along moments and shout it out loud for you, than Back in Black might have.
Because all this has got is the hey, hey, hey.
Right, but that oh my god, that opening riff, dead.
It's very good. And that's when I started like nodding my head.
All right. I feel like this is a song we're going to come back to before the end of the year.
Ooh, okay.
I think this may move at some point.
James, did you hear that? We're going to review this, and it might become a 5-recorder in the future.
Yes. I
got to warm me up to it.
Yes, because we were talking about this, that we were thinking about doing a show closer to the end of the year where we revisit some of our on the line or ones that we're like, well, I wanted to give it a 5, but it felt more 4. We said we were going to maybe compile those songs and see how we feel about them months later. Did they move up? Did they move down? You know? Yeah.
So, we'll have to revisit Uptown Girl.
Do you want to do that?
No.
I
know what'll... And it wasn't just bad enough that you were like, Rachel was too.
You want to poke that bear?
No, I don't want to poke that bear. Don't poke the mama bear. So that's Back in Black. 4 records. Not bad. Chris he's having some technical difficulties. Anyone want to come up here and talk to me while we're waiting for Chris to be able to hop back on? James, come on up here. Let's talk about the Uptown Girl or the AC/DC, or you might be at work. If anyone wants to come to the stage and talk about any of this, that would be fantastic. If not, the next song that Chris is going to review is going to be a fun one, and I'm afraid he might not give me a good rating since I only gave AC/DC 4 records. I mean, I thought that was generous. I thought it was very generous. He's probably going to really hate my my number 3 rating for him. Oh, Chris, I'm bringing you up. Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm excellent. I'm not going to leave you hanging, sister.
Thank you. Way. I'm like, what else can we talk about? Like, I was moving on to my 2nd rating from Chris, and he had to go. He's still there. We're having a lot of technical difficulties today. How was your show?
Oh, you know what? Technical difficulties. It was crickets in the beginning. I was so ready, Amanda, and nothing worked.
That was us. Chris's mic was not working great, and then my new adapter. Ooh, you back. Oh, Chris is back.
Everyone's back. Okay. All right. I can skedaddle and let you go back to your amazing show. Well, but let me
I was going to say, plug your show.
Yes, talk about it.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I got a couple of great things to tell you about. All right, we just unfortunately went up against you. You won
totally
the hour.
Our fault.
By fault.
I totally
No. It's totally cool. All good. But we did an edition of Wildfire, which might have been our funniest because of the awkward moments and cheesy jokes. So please do listen in the replay of that. It was good stuff. Sure. And then this afternoon, the lovely Megan Zink, who was a contestant on our show today, is going to be doing a show, and her guest just happens to be little old moi. And we're going to be talking about my crazy years of jumping out of airplanes and spelunking and doing dogfights and all those crazy things in the world.
Nice.
Thank you, whoever that was. And then I would like to plug something really cool that's coming up this week.
Of course.
A fun little piece of trivia. 25 years ago, God, I'm old. I was an MTV VJ for a little over a year, and I launched MTV2. So this summer, oh my God, yesterday was the 25th anniversary of MTV2 launching. And thank you. And the 40th anniversary of MTV proper. So later in this week, I have the wonderful Mark Goodman, the original VJ who started this thing out on August 1st, 1981. He is coming on Fireside from Podcast Movement to tell me what his experience was like. And of course, he became rich and famous and all that good stuff from being a VJ. And let's just say I had the opposite experience. So we're going to compare notes and talk a little bit about the heyday of MTV. So I hope you'll join me then.
That is so great. What day and time was that again?
Don't know yet. I wish I could tell you. Probably Friday. And I'm going to put it in there, but we might wiggle around a little bit and change it. Sure. We might pull a Voglio. How's that? We might put it out there and then like change it around a little bit. But
life happens, Chris. Life happens.
So, all right. Well, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm really enjoying the show. I'm going to go back down to the audience and listen to your wonderful show. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. And anyone in the audience, be sure to follow her so you get the notification when she does that RSVP for the show. Awesome.
Absolutely. So I'm back.
You're back. I missed you. Yeah. I was so taken aback. I was like, oh my, what do I talk about?
All of a sudden, everything here went out. Like it just went out. And then I was like, well, but I see the phone going. So I'm like, but I'm like, I hope you're still connected. But yeah. So anyway, I'm back.
I love it. So we are just waiting on the rating from my second song.
Yes. So your second song is Africa by Toto. Now we all know this song. I don't think there's a person in this room right now that doesn't know the song. Anybody listening right now? I mean, we all know Toto, Africa. So I've got a funny story about this song.
Oh, do share.
So this, I actually met, so one quick thing is I met somebody who once said that this to him is the greatest song ever written.
Did you speak to my husband?
It was not your husband, but it was somebody else who said, this song is probably the greatest song ever written in the history of songs. And I'm like, it's a good song, but I'm not sure I put it up there with like, when we were just talking about the Beatles and even Daydream Believer. But anyway, so funny story about this song is that when my dad, so back in, I think when the song came out in, I think 86. Let me just check on that real quick. 82. Sorry, 82. So my dad had gotten a brand new car. It was a Cutlass Oldsmobile. It was a white Cutlass Oldsmobile, and
that was my second car,
and it had a tape deck in it.
Ooh, fancy.
Brand new, and to test out the supreme stereo system in the car, there was a cassette single of
Toto
Africa. I swear to God. So I remember when he got it and he was like, I really like this song. And it was just always, so it was like one side would be like, oh, hey, test out your, how to set up your Oldsmobile. Here's all the controls. And then it would flip over and it would play the whole song of Africa.
Stop it. That's so fantastic.
But I used to always listen to that song. So it was like, every time we'd get in the car, he'd be like, oh, I'm just going to, Africa's on. Like you just like left it in the car. Because he's a cassette single of Africa. So it would always be in the car and we would always listen to it. So it's just hilarious that, and that was like the fact that the car came with a cassette single and it's Africa by Toto. I always thought it was hilarious.
That's so fantastic.
Yeah. It's hilarious. It's just like, I think back at these little things and I wish he still had it because it was like Oldsmobile and like the little cardboard thing. You slid it out and it was like, Toto, Africa, like, and it was like fun. Side one was set up your stereo system. Like, forgot what it was called, like Premier System or whatever it was. It was like so funny. Anyway,
oh my gosh.
So Toto, Africa. So this is a song that I think has entered popular culture in, it's almost like how it's like how Journey, like Don't Stop Believing, sort of like huge hit, but is now like sort of this popular culture like phenomenon. Like now everybody knows. I feel like Toto has definitely had that, considering it's been talked about and discussed and used in so many different shows and programs. And then obviously Weezer like kind of pushed into the stratosphere again with their version of Africa, which is pretty spot on. I do enjoy it. I think it's fun. Those guys always do some fun stuff. And it was funny too that Toto answered back with that by doing their version of Hash Pipe by Weezer. So that was
how fun. That's fun.
It's funny. So I think that's cool. So this song for me it's a very popular song. I mean, I remember back in the day, and obviously I was just talking about that story. It was kind of like, it was cool, and then I got super sick of it, right? Because it was like, all right. Because I knew what Toto sounded like before Africa. Like Toto's like a pretty rockin' band. I mean, they have Hold the Line. Oh, I love that song. Like they had so many cool, like just 80s like rock hits and like late 70s and like Steve Lukather, who's like Rosanna. I mean, come on, that's a great
Rosanna,
song. Yeah, those songs are awesome.
Oh,
And like
that's
Steve
good.
Lukather is an amazing guitar player and songwriter, and so it's just, and so you're like, where did this song come from? You know, because I always wondered that, like, how did Toto like write the song Africa? Like, where did the song come from there? And so did some digging. And so here we go. From songfacts.com. The song tells the story of a man who comes to Africa and must make a decision about the girl who comes to see him. He's enamored with the continent, but must leave if he's going to be with her. All right. So the song was written by Toto keyboard player David Pike, and he explained in the liner notes of the Best Ballads comp, at the beginning of the 80s, I watched a late-night documentary on TV about the terrible death and suffering of the people in Africa. It moved and both appalled me. The pictures just wouldn't leave my head. I tried to imagine how I'd feel if I was there and what I'd do. He admitted he'd never been to Africa when he wrote the song. In an article in Time magazine, and I found a group member said they were looking for a song to just close off the album and didn't think Africa would do as well as it did. They also mentioned that if you listen closely during the lyrics, catch some waves, you can hear them saying, catch some rays. So that's a little inside thing about that. Toto, their record, Toto 5 won a Grammy of the Year. Sorry, Toto 6 won a Grammy of the Year award, but voters didn't nominate Africa for Record of the Year or Song of the Year. They preferred Rosanna, which was nominated in both categories and won for Record of the Year. So, you know, it's one of these songs, once again, that I feel like has completely transcended like what it was originally intended for and all that, and has become just it just lives in the ether, right? Like everybody, you play Africa, it comes on, everybody knows this song. Even if you don't like it, you know it. And you find yourself like swaying and, you know, I bless the rains. You can't go into a karaoke bar without somebody singing this on karaoke. It's just one of those tunes. I don't think it's the greatest song ever written. I don't agree with that statement. I do think it's a very good song, though. And as I've gotten older, I think I've learned to appreciate it more because, like I said, when I was younger, I grew up, it was everywhere. And you're like, okay. And then you're like, okay, if I ever hear Africa again, I'm gonna shove something in my ears. I can't hear Africa at all anymore. It's too much like easy listening. I mean, you get into an elevator and you just hear like the Muzak version of it, and you're like, enough. But as I've gotten older and you know, I've learned to appreciate the song a lot more for what it is. So with that, I'm going to give the song 4 records.
I'll take 4 records.
It's not a 5-record song because I don't think it's one of the greatest songs ever written. Like when I think of Daydream Believer, I'm like, that's
a good song.
I mean, come on. It took the Beatles to knock it out of number 1. So, you know, I mean, and Africa was a big hit. I mean, when it was released, I mean, it reached number 1 on the US charts and reached number 3 on the British charts. So it had a great run and it got revived and kind of got back on again. And you know, and I think a lot of people like have really found a new love for that song, almost kind of like how Fleetwood Mac has kind of found a new love again. You know, it's like generations kind of keep discovering certain hit sons that are kind of like, all right, and then it kind of comes back. And I think Africa is one of those songs that will just keep finding like a new generation every now and then. It'll bring it back. I think same thing like Don't Stop Believing and those types of songs. They don't just when you think, oh, it's good, and then it comes back again. So I think this is one of those songs. But it's a 4 record for me.
I'll take the 4 records because that is still a very good rating, James, hence the 4 ratings from AC/DC. Not a bad rating. And our most recent story about this song, and this is how it ended up on this week's list. We were
right because I figured you'd had a story about this song.
Marcus loves this song, and he could be really crabby. And if I turned it on, like, he would probably be happy. Like, he couldn't not sing it, even if he was so mad at me. So we went to Mackinac Island while we were on vacation, and we're in the line for the ferry. And I get very motion sick. I think I've said this several times before. Forgive me, because you'll hear it 1,000 more times. And so I'm preparing to get on the ferry and not throw up. And this song comes on, and he's just singing it in his own little world. And I'm like doing my breathing, like, please don't throw up. Please don't throw up. And he's like, bless the rains down in Africa. As I'm like trying to not throw up. And I didn't throw up on the ferry, but I definitely wanted to. But we entered with him singing that fabulous song. So that's how it ended up on this week's list.
I want to hear Marcus's version of Africa. I want to hear him sing.
It's pretty spot on to Toto's.
Wow, nice.
Yes.
Oh.
He doesn't have a bad voice. It's not one of those that he's never like sang, but like when he really finds his songs, he nails it.
I love it.
So that was him jamming out to Toto and me trying not to puke.
So this is a song that makes you helps you to get over motion sickness.
Absolutely.
That's why it's a special tune.
So, I mean, it's at least 4 records for that alone.
That alone, yeah. If it keeps you from being sick, then yes.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so Chris's final song. Number 3 and final song. Dream Police by Cheap Trick.
One of the greatest American bands.
Okay, I was like, song? Please don't say song.
Oh no! I feel like a huge disappointment's coming on.
So
Cheap Trick, man.
This was definitely one that I was like, what is the title? Who is the band?
Inside of my head.
So my first thought was, I actually like the beginning. Like there's that little like musical intro and then it gets right to business. So I was like, okay. I'm okay with that. I'm giving it a chance, Amanda. And then I'm like, this sounds like a haunted song. Like it sounds so haunted to me.
The Dream Police. They're inside of my head.
Yes. And I'm like, I don't like this. It could be like a serial killer music. Like the show Dexter. If Dexter needed music, like while he was like taking care of one of the bad guys, like this is a song that could be playing.
I instantly can now that you've said that, I instantly will never be able to watch Dexter the right way again without now hearing Dream Police. Like any trailer from now on should just be it's Dexter and then just Dream Police in it. I may have to do an edit now, just the Dexter and Dream Police, because now I can't.
He's making a comeback. So Dexter, if you're listening,
the Dream Police.
Yes. It's so chipper for such a terrible, like, haunted song. Like, it's got a tone to it. It's very interesting. There you go. I had to Google the meaning because I'm like, what does this mean? I'm like, what is the Dream Police? Because it just was a lot of Dream Police, the Dream Police. And when I Googled it, it was that it's a paranoid man who thinks his dreams are being monitored.
Right.
You say that like it's so natural. Like, of course, Amanda. Why would there be any other thought to this, Amanda, but that?
I think it spells it right out in the song.
Okay, I didn't catch on that, obviously, so I apologize for that.
I can't wait till you watch the music video for this one.
And then my mind went into, like, mom mode, going, why would anyone even want to write a song about somebody being so paranoid that they thought their dreams were monitored?
This is what I love about you. You go to that next level.
And then it made me really sad. Because no one should be so paranoid that they think their dreams are being monitored.
Oh my God.
So
I love that this is how the Dream Police made you feel. Meanwhile, I'm like, this is like a great American, like awesome pop song by like one of the best rockin' US bands out there. Like,
and it just made me sad because no one should live life feeling that way.
Right.
No one. So because of all of those things, the most I can muster up is 3 records.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Cheap Trick, only getting 3 records. One of the greatest American power pop bands. I mean, this is a band that wrote Surrender. I know you know Surrender.
Surrender.
Yes.
Do I know that? Oh, nice.
Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Amanda knew a song.
They're Cheap Trick.
That's
Cheap
Trick.
Trick.
Yeah. You know what other song
That's
is
a
by Cheap
much
Trick?
better song than this one.
Right,
one?
But I figured you would have to know. Like Surrender's, we're just on songs that live in the ether forever. Like Surrender's that song.
What's the other one?
Well, there's just so many of them. Like, but the one that you probably, which is like a very non-Cheap Trick song, is "The Flame."
The Flame. How's that one go?
Oh man, it's like really. It was. I mean, it was like you couldn't go to a high school prom without hearing "The Flame." It was.
I just know the Eternal Flame.
No, this is like The Flame. I'm gonna have to play it for you because I can't even do it unless somebody from the audience wants to come up and sing
it. I probably do know it and probably could start singing it. It could be the wrong lyrics, but I'll give it a go.
I guarantee this is probably played on one of your Pandora stations.
Oh, probably.
The flame has to come up in one of those Pandora stations.
What's the one in Top Gun? James asked. Is that a Cheap Trick song?
There's Kenny Loggins.
I love Kenny Loggins.
Are you talking about Danger Zone, James? Is that the one you're talking about?
That's a good song.
That's Kenny Loggins.
He does a cute little Pooh Bear song. I really like having Kenny Loggins. I can't help it. So I guess I need to reevaluate Cheap Trick because I feel like they may be more than a 3-record band.
They also do a really good Elvis song. They do a good Elvis cover. All Shook Up.
Ooh, I'm gonna give Cheap Trick a try.
Okay, listen to Cheap Trick Greatest Hits. And
I can do that.
Surrender because you've heard that one already.
Okay, I can do that. Although I do like that song.
Oh, it's a great song. I mean, it's an amazing song.
Mighty Wings.
Oh, Mighty Wings. You know what? I'm gonna have to Google that actually. You know what? I can't remember at the moment, James. That's good. I'll look that up because I can't remember. I'm totally escaping me right now.
So as far as Dream Police, I just couldn't. But it was mostly because I just felt bad for the person.
For the person who's having dreams about the Dream Police.
Yes.
So
that's not where I want to live.
You're going to have dreams about a Dream Police now.
Why? Probably. I'm going to become.
Police, they are Amanda's head. The Dream Police, they're coming for Amanda.
We are obnoxious today, but this is what this show's about.
This is what happens when we don't see each other for a week.
I know.
It gets crazy.
Now, I feel like my third song is going to get hit poorly, even though I love it so much. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right.
Love how I feel like you jump to conclusions so fast.
I do jump to conclusions. I'm just preparing myself because that Billy Joel hurt.
You have no idea how to read me on this one, do you?
I don't.
This was you. You threw a dart on this one, and you're like, I'm gonna see what Chris says about this.
Absolutely, and this is the second it finally got through because it got eliminated a couple weeks ago.
It did get eliminated through the
power
of
Patreon.
Yeah. Right, the power of Patreon. So, but this week it got through. It was
here.
Approved. It was approved. By the patrons. The patrons
have spoken.
Yes. So, Wildfire by a guy with 3 names. Michael Martin Murphy. Michael Martin Murphy with an EY, by the way.
Yes, I had to reduce the font to make it fit on our image.
Wildfire, which, by the way, once again, is a really great show here on Fireside. So it's not affiliated with this song at all.
Not at all.
Definitely.
Find Chris in the audience.
Yes, find Chris in the audience and make sure you RSVP when she sets up the next version of Wildside. But yeah, so this song actually. You know what? I never knew actually Amanda who sang this song. You know, it's a song that's kind of I've heard like a ton of times in my life growing up, and this is one of these songs that gets played when I was talking about yacht rock with you, and like, what is yacht rock? I'm like, this is a song that gets played on a yacht rock playlist.
Okay,
100% because it's just
it's Wildfire.
It's easy, man. It's the smooth sounds of Michael Martin Murphy.
Wildfire.
Yeah. This is one of these songs that is definitely a yacht rock or has become a yacht rock staple. So interesting stuff. So I couldn't find anything about this on Song Facts actually, but I did find a good interview with him because once again, song I've heard probably a million times, didn't even know who sang it. Like, much like how you didn't know AC/DC sang Back in Black. I wanted to
drop that in there one more time.
Just gonna drop that in there one more time. But yeah, so this was an interesting. But like when you really listen to the lyrics of this song, like it's like there's something going on. So I wanted to know, like, okay, what I had a suspicion of what it could be about, but I think it's got a pretty cool backstory. At least I thought it was interesting. So In 1975, Michael Martin Murphey released Wildfire as a single. It was written by him and Larry Kanzler. The song came to Murphy in a dream, not by the Dream Police, but it came to him in a dream. And it was
See,
after.
That's how dreams should work.
Yeah, unless the Dream Police are there to stop you. And after a bit of back and forth, it was included on his Blue Sky Night Thunder album, and it was released the same year. The song was a #1 hit on a Billboard Easy Listening chart, and #3 on the Billboard Hot 100, notching Murphy's biggest pop hit. It also sold more than 2 million copies in the United States. So I'm taking this is all coming from an interview I found with him on the Boot website, theboot.com. So he goes on to talk about the song. They asked him about the song's origins, and he was saying that while he was working on a concept album called The Ballad of Calico for Kenny Rogers, and him and his friend Lenny Kanzler, he was in his third year of college in UCLA, but was living in the mountains of California. He would drive down to Larry's apartment in LA and sleep on his floor because of work, sometimes 22 hours a day on the record. That night, Wildfire came to me. Larry went to bed and I went to sleep in a sleeping bag on the floor, and I dreamed the song in its entirety. I woke up and pounded on Larry's door and said, "Can you come down here and help me with this song?" His wife got up, made us coffee, and we finished the song in 2 to 3 hours.
Are you kidding me?
This is what he said. It came from deep down in my subconscious. My grandfather told me a story when I was a little boy about a legendary ghost horse that the Indians talked about. In 1936, author J. Frank Dobby identified this ghost horse story as a prominent one in the lore of the Southwest. We were working on my album, Blue Sky Night Thunder, at the time, and my producer, Bob Johnson, said, "I don't see how that song will fit in with the rest of the material for the album." I asked him if I record it as an album cut because I felt very strongly about it. So it goes on. And if anybody wants to read the whole article, I can send it to you on Instagram or whatever. But yeah, I just, when you start digging, and I was like, I felt like the song had this kind of like natural-esque kind of thing, and then when I started reading, I'm like, wow, and it came to him in a dream, Amanda.
A dream that wasn't stumped by the Dream Police.
So I like this song. I think it's a very cool song. I'm glad you sent it to me because otherwise I would not have dug this deep to find out what was behind this song. It's a song I've heard so many times over. And like I said, we were actually on the way down to North Carolina. So we drove down. It was me, my brother, my parents. And my father goes, "Let's listen to the Yacht Rock channel. They play a lot of good songs." And we had it on, and Wildfire came on. And this was before we sent each other our lists. So it came on. So it's literally like within, we got here yesterday, and I got your list late last night because I hadn't checked. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I just heard this song 24 hours ago, and here it is on the list. So I am giving this song 4 records. It's a 4-record song for me. I like this song.
4 records.
It comes on, and I feel like it stands out. Like, I know it's we talk about Yacht Rock, and there's funny stuff to it, but I actually feel like it's a really fun song. It's a cool tune. I hear it, and I go, this is a really nice tune, and I remember it. I know when it comes on, but yeah, if it wasn't for you picking it, I would not have even done this much research to find out the whole story behind Wildfire. Mike, now I want to know about why do you have 3 first names?
I have to say, after even hearing the story behind it, I like it even more. That's a fascinating story.
Yeah, I was like, this is a really good article because he got interviewed and he goes all about it. I'll send you the interview because there's more to it. Some about the recording process, but he tells the story behind the whole. I think there's a video that goes with it too, which I didn't watch, but it's a cool interview. I like how he opens up about it.
So, friends, just remember, you might be one dream away from a top hit. One dream away. So those Dream Police need to go away.
If they don't put
Get out of here.
If the Dream Police don't put you in jail,
get out of here.
You can dream your hit single.
Dream up a hit single. That's all you need. I think we all would be happy with one hit wonders.
Right. And this is I don't know any other songs by this gentleman. I'm sure he may have had some other hits. I don't know anything about him beyond this song, so maybe I'll explore his catalog, especially because they're saying this song's not typical for, I guess, the type of songs he usually writes, according to this article. So yeah, I may go dive into the triple M catalog.
I think that's
M squared.
fantastic. So the first song we started with was about dreams.
Mm-hmm.
The last song we're ending with is about dreams. Unintentionally. That's how our show works.
I know. And this is why I said I think Amanda's baiting me this week, because I'm like, she's going to pick songs that I think she thinks that I know, or maybe I don't know. And I know, like, I don't know. I just felt like I was getting, but I'm like, I am going to impress her because I'm going to tell her that I actually know these songs and I actually enjoy them.
I didn't know if you would know Wildfire. I assumed you probably had heard of it. I didn't know if you were going to actually like it, although I thought maybe you would. And I didn't know you liked the Monkees as much as you did.
I love the Monkees.
Like, that's exciting.
I will watch. First of all, I'll watch that show. Like, I'll watch it on loop. I laugh at all the same stupid jokes. I think it's a brilliant show, and they're great, and their story is great. And I love like watching the documentaries about them and how they all, their whole thing. And if you ever watch like their reels, like when they were coming, their audition reels for acting are great for that show. It's hilarious to watch those. And I find their whole story absolutely fascinating. How they were a fake band but became a real band. And but the songs that were written for them are great songs, and like they pulled it off. They somehow found a way to pull it off, and I mean, they get number one hits. I mean, getting knocked out of number one by the Beatles is
impressive. That's something not to be offended by.
No, absolutely not. I mean, listen, if someone's going to knock you out of number one, yeah, it might as well be the Beatles. Like,
absolutely.
I mean, come on.
So maybe we're similar to the Monkees, and we're like a fake show that's about to become a real show.
Right. Wait.
But we're a real show now, but really going to become we're a real show, but we're going to become like a real show.
A real like an everyday show.
Yes.
Right. It's the Chris and Amanda every day, Monday through Friday.
The Monkees of talk show.
Right. That would be amazing.
That would be. You heard it here first, folks. Live on Fireside.
Live on Fireside.
Live on Fireside.
Yes.
Oh, you guys really hung in with us today because this was a fun episode just because I know I was happy to be back with you, Chris, because I missed you last week terribly. Didn't have the internet to stay in touch with you as much as I normally do. It just was hard, but it was a great trip, but it was hard.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm glad you got to go away. I'm glad you got to spend some really awesome family time together. The pictures I did see look awesome. And yeah, you need time off. And I, I'm just thankful that, we got great friends, John and Victor, who came in and jumped in and did the show with me. And we had a great time, a great show. Obviously, it's not the same, but we didn't do our show. We did something different. So
absolutely. I love that. I can't wait to listen to it. John is here in the audience. So thank you, John.
Oh, hey, John.
Stepping in for me last week and having a great episode. And he said he was supposed to be on a unplugged. He came back for this.
Oh, thanks, John. You're awesome. Yeah. And John's show, John's got great shows. I was listening to his, I think I'm going to screw this up, John. I'm sorry. I think it's the XV Planet show, but I finally caught it last week because I keep missing them. And I caught like the last 20 minutes. And it was awesome. And then I went back and I listened to the whole replay, like the whole thing all the way through. It was really fun. So that's a great show. John's got other shows he's doing here on Fireside as well. So, make sure you check out John. He's got the Freaky Film Friday thing, I think, too, which I want to catch those.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll have to. There's a lot of great creators on this app. I'm so excited to see everyone start to create more and more and more. So we're fans of all of yours. So thanks for being here, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. We're 100% fans. And I know this is a big week. I know we're all excited. Everybody here is on the platform creating. We're going to have a really fun week. And this is Fallon's making her huge keynote on the 5th, which I know we're all pumped about. We're going to have a lot of new people coming on board on this app. So really excited. So yes, we're definitely going to be doing a second show this week. We're going to schedule that in. You'll be getting an RSV about it very soon. And that'll be a lot of fun to do a second show because, as Amanda and I say all the time, we wish we were doing the show every single day. We're going to make that happen at some point.
Absolutely.
We need a really good sponsor so we can make the show a reality every single day.
That's right. And for anyone listening to the replay or anyone listening in the audience, we're certainly not the professionals of this app, but we are 14 and a half episodes in now. And so we've figured out a lot of things. So if you need any help, creating some shows or working behind the scenes on some stuff, we are happy to help you in any way. Just drop us a DM over on Instagram and we'll help you out.
Absolutely. 100%. So with that, I want to thank everybody so much for sticking in with us today. Sorry for some of the technical difficulties, but we rolled with it. Amanda's such a pro. She keeps it going. And, thanks Chris for jumping in. And James, I know you jumped up there too, to lend a hand as I got back online.
We love you, James.
Yes. So thank you guys. This is great. Looking forward to doing a second show this week of the Chris and Amanda show. And this is, I don't know, I'm running out of things to say, but anyway, I just, we really appreciate all you guys.
Absolutely.
Definitely we'll be back to doing all kinds of great stuff. We'll be back to our regular schedule next week. If you want to watch the video versions of these, you can head over to our YouTube channel. Just go over to Chris and Amanda Show on YouTube, and you'll be able to see those. And as Amanda mentioned before, we do have a Patreon account where we do create other fun content. We usually do music video reaction videos. You can vote on the songs, and there's all kinds of merch things and all kinds of great fun stuff there. So if you want to show your support for the show for a measly $2, you get those voting rights. So feel free to head over there. Yes, absolutely.
I love it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Amanda. Thanks for being back and being my awesome co-host. Appreciate it.
It was so much fun. I appreciate it. And I missed you so much. And we love everyone in the audience. Thank you for being here on a weekly basis. We're so grateful for it.
Yep. See you guys soon. We'll see you this week. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Have a great week.